last video, my phone got too hot and it stopped working. I was in the middle of a meditation. I apologize for that. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was just in nature. I'm just fascinated with nature. You can hear the birds want to get in on it. It's just so magical. I hope in my last video that I posted yesterday I didn't say too much. I try not to do that, but I can't help it. Maybe I'm too truthful, maybe I'm too honest, maybe I feel too much, maybe I'm too sensitive. I do my best. In whatever situation you're going through, or whatever your circumstances are, you know in your heart what's best for you. No matter what anyone else says that you're around. And if you'd like to share what you felt through these meditations and activations, I would love to hear all about it. If you would like to do a group or personal session, you can register for that. If you would like a personal energy reading, I can do that also. What I know, it's not good to keep secrets. Because when you do that, you don't want to, I don't want to give my advice. It's just unhealthy for anyone to keep secrets. I know I kept secrets buried so deep of stuff that I didn't want to deal with because it was too painful. Because I made myself too busy to want to go that deep. It doesn't serve your highest and best to keep secrets. It doesn't serve your highest and best to exercise like a maniac if you haven't done your spiritual work. You don't want to have to undo what you did, and that's not going to be fun. as far as staying physically fit. It might be the hardest thing you have to do. Or one of the hardest things you have to do. Because when you're going from being physically fit to now having to sit still to meditate, it might be a challenge for you. But it will be worth it if you stick to it. And self-mastery will, you have to be committed and dedicated, no matter what it takes. Even if you don't understand what that is, and you have your heart set on that. Your heart knows what's best for you, and just listen to it. When you do these meditations and activations, it's best to do them 3 times a day. Better to do them 7. For me, I don't sugarcoat anything. I have no reason to. I have nothing to lose and nothing to hide. And I feel it's better to at least listen to someone who has been through it. And being extremely sensitive, I care a lot about everything, and sometimes it gets a little too much. Like if I see a tree that's been cut down for no good reason, but for a lame business or a hideous eyesore on stilts. One tree lost is one tree too many. One bird lost is one bird too many. One food source and home for the wildlife, for the pollinators, gone is one too many. One garden gone is one too many. And every time I don't keep my mouth shut about things. If I feel it's not right or it's off, I say it, but I try to do it in a way that hopefully they understand. You can't just worry about a dog going to the bathroom on the ground nature is our family too. And if you don't speak out for it, what are you gonna do when it's nothing but a concrete jungle? I don't want to live here when it's like that. And if you see garbage on the ground and you happen to walk past it, why not pick it up? I've done that for the oceans, I've done that for the ground. This planet, I respect this planet. It's our home that we live on, and I want her to remain beautiful. Actually, I want to see her fully restored to her former glory. What I would love to see is all of the magnificent jewels that were meant to be here to return to the new earth and only reveal themselves to those that want their highest and best, that show up to them because they love them. Hi. And sorry, I was interrupted for a minute. We need nature and nature needs us. And if we all stick together, we can change things for the better. Use your voice to help the voiceless, to protect the trees, to protect nature, to protect the wildlife, to protect the oceans. I want all that's in the ocean left in the ocean. I don't want to see people taking them out of the ocean for a trophy or to have a picture with it. They are here and they deserve to live their life in peace too. And if they reveal themselves to you, that's a great blessing. You don't have a right to take their life for money or for a trophy. They're much more valuable alive and healthy. And I don't want to see it overrun with animals that don't belong in an area. Like where I am, I expected a lot of chipmunks, a lot of squirrels, a lot of animals from the woods. What do I see? I see chickens, roosters, and the lizards. I don't know if that's a lizard or an iguana, or I don't know what it is. Chameleon, I don't know. But there's so many of them. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this. You see everybody concerned with money, which is a good thing. I love money and money loves me. But if you haven't done your spiritual work yet and you don't understand what that is, aren't you curious? And just because you have money doesn't mean you're free. again, all that are ready will find their way. Those with you know, I came into this not knowing anything. And I just wanted to do the right thing. But I wanted to live a certain way. I wanted it to be comfortable for me, where all my needs are met and I could continue doing my spiritual work. Because I didn't come into this to quit. I didn't come into this to only complete half of it. I came into this with the intention of doing it as best as I can and being at least measuring up to those that I admire who are doing this work. And maybe I have a long ways off before I get there. And maybe I don't. All I know is, no matter what, I kept going. And I kept my word. And I stayed true. And I've been here every single day since New Year's and before that. And when I know something, I like to share it with everybody. And it's up to them to use their free will to decide for themselves what's best for them. I wouldn't be telling you this if it wasn't extremely important, because you can't do this after you die. I made this a priority, and I made it pushed everything aside to do this. I made this first in my life. I dedicated my life to spirituality, and I've kept my word to it, no matter how it comes across, no matter what I had to go through, no matter what I look like, no matter what I don't want to say too much, because I'm getting the message I'm saying too much, and I don't want to do that. But at least you know that I mean well. And there's nothing phony about me. And I did the work myself, of course, with my guides. What I mean by that is I didn't try to take from another what didn't belong to me. I just kept going no matter what and passed every test that was thrown at me. And I've said this before, I wasn't tempted, I never caved, I never quit, I never gave in, I never gave up, I never compared myself to anyone. And just because someone said to me it didn't work for them doesn't mean it's not going to work for me. Because I don't know what they put into it. There's a noisy helicopter over here, excuse me. Typical, isn't it? If they were woke, they wouldn't have done that. They would have minded their own business and let me continue. And for me, if I feel something's wrong, I stand up to it even if I'm by myself. I don't give in just because of who's ever in the room or how many are in the room. And I can't be bought or paid off. If I don't feel it's right, I'm not getting involved with it. I don't even know why I'm going off on a tangent like this, but at least you know that, I've heard that there are, I don't know if, I don't have a lot of accounts online. I have my 3 emails. My first email, I can't even receive messages because it's overfilled. My second 2 emails, I just created one a couple days ago. The ones I've been giving you are mine. And I hope that they're protected and no one's reading it, that shouldn't be. I'm on the East Coast, and I have been on the East Coast for I don't know, 4 years maybe. And I haven't received any mail other than from Florida Health Insurance. And I was recently told that I was sent information by mail that I never received. And I was told it had something to do with the court. Now I don't know what that means. But if that's true, then who is preventing me from getting my mail? I received nothing from any court, and the only mail I've ever gotten was from employers that I work for, that I no longer work for, and from Florida Health Insurance, trying to sell me health insurance. As far as bank accounts are concerned, I've had bank accounts here in this state of Florida, and everything else was closed. I had one account in another state, but that was closed, and that was at I don't need to go into those details. Maybe I'm talking too much now, I don't know. But I don't really know what to do here. Because financially, I'm not in a good situation and haven't been. And there's no reason for that. Well, I know of some reasons that it could be for, but it has nothing to do with anything that I did. Because all I did was look for a solution and a new way. And I've tried endlessly. And my bank was closed recently because someone had broke into my account and spent my money. And I was reimbursed for that, but then they took it out again. So I closed, that account is now closed. I opened up another account and closed that too. When I tried to get it set up through the post office, I was told that wasn't safe either. All I have to say is, I better be the only one that has my information. And not someone else using it. I've even tried to put a website together, but at the last minute it didn't work out because of the financials. when I should have had that already. I also have some great ideas things that I need, that I know if I need it, others need it too. And I want to get that done, but I don't want to share my idea with anyone. I just need to find a way to make it happen. And if I told you everything about my life, you would either look at me and say you had it worse off, and if you could do it, if I could do it, you can do it. Or you might say I had it much worse than you, and still say if you can do it, I can do it too. Isn't that beautiful? The birds agree. Hopefully that's enough. I don't want to say too much because in the last video I said too much and couldn't even make it public. So I'll have to make this private and see how it goes, see if it's okay to make it public or not. But I didn't come here to be lame. I didn't come here to be lazy. I didn't come here to be tempted or to quit or cave or give up or give in or follow in somebody else's footsteps when they said, oh, that didn't work for me. Okay, so it didn't work for you. Why didn't it work for you? It didn't work for you because of many reasons that you have yet to reveal of why it didn't work for you. Because you didn't put your all into it, number one. Me, I decided to drop out of the world and not be of it. I put spirituality first. I didn't make money first. I didn't put money first. I didn't put the world first. And if you listen to the Ascended Masters, what was said about Jesus? He overcame the whole world. How do you think he did that? He certainly didn't follow everybody that was around him that he was surrounded by with. He didn't do that. Did the Ascended Masters follow everybody that was around them? I don't either. I don't follow the herd. I never did. I never will. Just because you're around people that want you to do things a certain way, and if it doesn't feel right, why should you do it? To appease them, to impress them, to please them? What for? What are you getting out of it? I decided my people-pleasing days are over. I decided that being overly generous, those days are over. I decided that you know, just because somebody's in your family and they have a situation, and to never allow them to have a family at your expense, because you never know what they harbor in their heart about you or what they're saying behind your back. No matter what, I always try to do the right thing, because eventually, you know, what goes around comes around. And when you're talking about self-mastery, it all matters. And insecurity has no place in your life. Low self-esteem has no place in your life. Anything negative doesn't have any place in your life. I've eliminated all that. Integrity matters, meaning you being honest with yourself, and honesty and truth matter, meaning you being honest with everyone and not sugarcoating it or telling white lies or telling stories that make you look good at others' expense. I don't agree with that either. And you have to examine all of your beliefs to see which ones are beneficial to you and which ones you need to eliminate. And for me, I had to get rid of all of it. Because being too kind, being too nice, being too supportive, too helpful is not healthy for you. I mean, especially if you're thinking about everyone else but yourself. You want to make sure that you take care of yourself first before you go and help others. Or worse, you have it all and then you've got people who are eyeing it, who want it, and who will do anything to get it. And they have, had this whole plan plotted out to try to take everything, and thinking that they will go and get away with it. May be true for a little while, but eventually they can no longer hide it, because they'll what they wanted for someone else, if it wasn't good intentions, you don't know how that's going to play out for them. And I wouldn't even worry about that. You just keep working on yourself. And keeping your commitment to spirituality. No matter who's in your life and who isn't. no matter who has your back and who doesn't. I have no time for weakness. I have no time for those who are tempted. I have no time for those who quit, who cave, who have anything to do with negativity whatsoever. The Ascended Masters were my role model. I didn't look up to the world. What for? What was it? What did it ever do for me to focus on that? The news is a waste of time. I just dropped out of everything and just focused solely on my spirituality. And if there are any fake accounts in my name, I hope they're eliminated now. And I hope that all of my personal information is safe. And everybody's journey is different. You have to lose all judgment. And I can't stand sarcasm. I want nothing to do with that mindset. And if you have something to say, it better be positive or don't bother sending it. You better feel it first before you send it out, because I'm not interested in anything that's negative. I don't waste my time sending out negative messages to anyone, and I don't treat anyone how I don't want to be treated. But you can't ignore your feelings either. If something's telling you something's not right with whoever you're around, listen to it, because if you don't, it's only going to hurt yourself. You can't ignore it. You can't distract yourself by everything else in the world and sweep that under the carpet. I don't know, maybe I'm just too different. I would drive around with food in my trunk for homeless animals if they were hungry. I would build homes for them so that they would have food all year round. And How many times have you wrapped your arms around a tree and said, I love you, thank you for all that you've done, all that you are doing, all that you continue to do? Or say that to a bunch of fish in a tank, or the lobsters in a tank, and see what they do. Or an animal. Because everything feels. I choose not to ingest suffering. That's just my thing. And plus, with how I am, I don't want to, I don't want a reaction. I have to be very careful with what I put on my skin and what I eat. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't party. I mean, whatever floats your boat, but it was never for me. And as far as relationships are concerned, whatever makes you happy, just as long as the other person knows and you're not being, secretive about what you're doing behind their back. If you're not happy in the relationship you're in, what are you going to do about it? Don't just stay there. It's not healthy. Once someone shows you their true colors, believe them. Don't make excuses for them. It's about learning to love yourself more. Even if there's no one else around who didn't have the strength to keep going because they were tempted and gave in. I'm looking around to see if it's okay what I'm saying, if it's too much information. I don't know. And then all last week, like 3 times last week, there was like lots of police cars around, don't know why. And then they're by the house, and then when I came out with the key, walking the dog, they all left. And then I went to an interview for a job, and stopped off to get something and decided I wasn't going to do that. Then I saw people who were in the army walk in. Then later on that day, I'm going out to try to see what else I can do as far as work and getting set up. I see more people who are in the army and more police. Then today, I got fed up because the applications, I was not able to get the applications to pop up on my phone. I had a lot of useless agencies pop up that would ask all these questions that had nothing to do with the job and wasted my time. So I stopped doing that. Then I went somewhere else to see if maybe it's my connection and to see if it would work doing it another way, which is exactly what happened. It did work, and I got it done today. However, I've seen two weird vehicles that I've never seen before in my life, and these were really strange shapes, which I might show later because I think I've taken a video and not a still, or maybe I took both, and I'll see how they turned out to see if I'm going to show them. And it had no license plate on the front of it, but it had a license plate on the back of it, which I'm seeing none of these cars have license plates on the front, when usually they do. It's the front and the back, and now here it's just the back. And it's like where I go, just a little bit before when I was doing that meditation, my police car pulls up down the street. What for? What's your purpose? I feel that, look at those people who are polluting the ground. Find them. Look at the oceans. Look at the houseboats. Look at the fishing boats who are leaving things in the ocean. Find them. Go after the construction workers, the landscapers, the developers who are dumping stuff in the ocean. Find them. Go after the people who are cutting down trees illegally, because you don't have a right to cut down a tree, especially if it was an enormous tree that fed the pollinators like they did here. There was 3 of them here. They cut them all down to build a hideous eyesore. Now, I feel that they need to get the okay from everyone in the area if it's okay to take down that tree. Not just to some idiot who bought the property and said, I want to build a house here. No, because that's a food source and a home for nature. So you did nothing to save the tree. You took the food source, the home, and the life of what was living there. And that's on you, because you didn't do anything about it when you could have. Unless you're in a situation where you really can't. But even so, you can still speak out about it. If I had my way, all of nature would be protected, and nobody would be able to approach it that with the intent to take. Because you see plenty of people taking from nature, plenty of people taking from the ocean. What do they give back? How many of those fishing boats give back? How many of those houseboats give back? Are they concerned about the life underneath them? This is what I'm talking about, being super sensitive. These things bother me to no end. And if we all stick together, we can save it. And if you all got together to save the areas that are wild where you are, and build gardens for the pollinators, for the wildlife, and then food, then what happens is you're not forced to just rely on the markets that want to sell the food at their lame prices. When you go there, does it taste like what it's supposed to taste like? And who's handling it? Is it a human being or a robot? Because if a robot handles your food, I want nothing to do with it, won't even buy it. And I feel if they're doing that, that should be mandatory on the package. This has been handled by a robot. You don't know how that robot was programmed, and it wouldn't be safe to eat. I'm just gonna tell you like it is, because I've just had it with everything. Not only that, when you walk into a market, and especially if they had a market that was smaller and then moved it to the other side of the lot to create a bigger market where they have longer shelves and higher shelves of more garbage, but still limited to what you want, you should be able to walk in there and ask for whatever you want, and they should be able to get it immediately, not weeks later, or give you an excuse saying, oh, well, this is discontinued, we can't get it. There's no reason for that, especially if you're a brand new market. Not only that, if you did this, then it would force the markets to lower their prices, and you would eventually have no need for markets. Because here's what the markets have done. There was a string of health food stores, independently owned, that people took care of and were creating their own recipes. And people would go there and have that. Then when the markets came in, what did they do? They wiped them all out and put everything under one roof and raised the price. You don't have to tolerate that. This is the way you fight back. Not only that, when you walk into the market, I would look at the employees there. How many of them are watching you like a hawk? Or go there with your video and record them. They've got plenty of cameras there, and for what? If you created a bigger store, then that means you have the money to give out more gift cards to those that need it. And there's no excuse why they shouldn't, especially if they built a bigger market and they raised their prices. They should be giving out gift cards for food every day for people, to whoever needs it, right there at the counter. They should have also created an area where if you wanted to make your own food, they should be able to do that. They should have the chairs, the tables and chairs inside as well as outside. They should have a place where you can make hot water or whatever hot drink you want or cold drink you want and be able to have it right there. They didn't think about that either. What they did here was build bigger shelves, higher shelves of garbage. And nobody says nothing, but they know how to complain about a dog crapping on their lawn, but they can't stand up to that. They can look at somebody and judge them rather than ask them if they need help with anything. If more people cared about each other, we wouldn't be in this situation. And as far as war is concerned, it's the dumbest shit ever. If people would say, no, I'm not doing this, let the people who fund the war go to war and have everyone who funded it, their family, their relatives, and everybody involved do it, there would be no war. It's stupid. It's all about money. And then what happens when you do that? When you come back, do you know the condition your body's going to be in? And are you going to be able to get the support you need? I mean, look at all the people who have been in war. Ask them before you just decide to say, okay, well, I'm gonna, go into the army, the military, the Navy, and do this, that, and the other thing. Why? If you stop to meditate and go within and see what's revealed to you, see if that's the best decision for you. It certainly isn't the best decision for the planet, because how are you respecting the planet? You're not. And as far as fireworks are concerned, this supermarket put in the front of the store, because some kind of I don't know whether it was beer company or a vodka company, I don't know, because I don't drink. They put that in front of the store with all the fireworks. Fireworks scare the animals. They're too loud. People don't think about that. Animals can hear 10 times louder than we can hear it. So what are you doing to their hearing by using those fireworks? People don't think about that, though. I mean, I can understand you setting the ones off that have color, but still, you have to think about the birds. Is that scaring them? I mean, it's stupid. It's a waste of time. What are you getting out of it? You're spending your money, and it's not getting you anything. It's distracting you from things you need to know and what you should be doing. And if you don't know that there is a higher power, isn't it time you do? And what do you think about higher consciousness? And what are you going to do to achieve that? And what do you really think about higher consciousness? What do you really feel about that? I know what I feel about it. And that's the reason why I'm here too. I don't know why you came here or what you came here for. I know what I came here for. I know why I'm here. Why are you here? Money is great, but you can't take it with you when you die. And if you haven't made spirituality a priority in your life, you don't have everything. And you certainly can't do it after you're dead. And don't you want to be the first one in your family to do something that nobody else in your family has done before? And you know we're not the only ones here. And if you feel that you're being watched, it's because you are. What decisions are you making? Who are you proving yourself to be? And whether you know it or not, everything is recorded. Even when you think you're alone and by yourself. That, oh, nobody's going to see you, nobody knows what you're thinking, nobody knows what you're feeling. That's not true. You don't get away with anything. What's happening is you are either making the right decision or not. And I don't want to go into the details about that. I don't want to go into depth on that, because I've already said too much, probably. There are a lot of people who are really incredible at this work that I admire. And they don't go overboard with what they've been through or oversharing. But I don't know what their experience was when they went through it either. And if you feel that anything that I have said is an untruth, meditate and see what happens. And I would love to hear all about that. If you want to email me or put it in the description box below. I haven't been able to fill out anything in the description box below because I haven't been able to use my computer to be able to do that. But I have to get it set up because I told you I recently moved and I've been busy. I've been able to put videos up, but I haven't been able to I haven't had the time to be able to put anything in the description box in the last week or so, I think. So I hope that something I said really was an eye-opener for you. And if you would like to share what you got out of this, I would love to know that too. You can send it to rdhabsburg@gmail.com or reinadhabsburg@gmail.com, or put in the description box below. Thank you for being here. Thank you, God, the universe. Thank you, divine. Thank you all. And thank you for showing up for yourself. And I will see you next time.